Later.
The floors, yes. Hey, there's the judge. Hi, Judge.
Here I am. I just
We have another case. It's been hanging
barely
on.
had enough time to rush down a bite. And I'm not even through with my beverage. So, all right, let's get with it. Kayleen, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm gonna get another lawyer and I'm gonna.
At this time, the court calls
I'm telling you the truth. Bye.
Did Linda, did we do manual guards already? Jeff, okay, that's already done. All right, 619-036, State versus Daniel Ibanez.
I
That's
fired
Ivan Barrera.
you. Nobody could get rid of me.
Daniel Ibanez,
I'm here, Your Honor.
where you at? Wave your hands, show me your hand, something. Daniel Ibanez.
I can see him there, Judge. Danny, can you just talk a little louder?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, Your Honor.
There you are. All right.
Okay.
Thank you already. We're ready on you. 615-688, State versus Roland Jimenez. Ms. Gonzalez.
Your Honor, good afternoon. This is Javier Garcia. I'm filling in for Kim Gonzalez to take over the plea. And just to advise the court, the second part to the obstruction paperwork was just completed and submitted.
All right. That's going to have a TIC of 615689. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. Yes.
All right. 666-756, State versus Anthony Gosa.
Present, Your Honor.
And your attorney is Jeffrey Martinez. Is he here? Jeffrey Martinez.
I'll go ahead and send him a text to let him know that he needs
You
to
might
be.
want to do that. Otherwise, you're going to be, as we say in the barrio, SOL. Then we have Ms. Pinson. Is she here with us, Mr. Hack?
Judge, I don't see her in her chair. I just checked a moment ago.
Okay, just for the record, that's 647-082, 672-478, 672-479. All of them, the state of Texas versus Tammy Pinson.
Correct, Your Honor. I'll just hang out. I was afraid of this.
I'm sorry about that. You were correct. You were hoping, and you even pointed it out, but I just was not in a situation where I could do it. Otherwise, it took me the entire lunch to get all this crap. That's a legal expression.
Yes, I know.
Done.
She should be coming on because I did get a call and they did verify at 1:30, so.
All right.
Should
Well,
be
let's see.
coming on.
Let's see if their 1:30 is our 1:30. We'll give them a few minutes.
Judge, I heard about some mariachis that showed up at 12:30 a.m. rather than p.m. They got there 12 hours after they thought they were supposed to be there. 30 minutes after midnight, mariachis show up at the front door. That was a good one there, I thought. Oh my God.
Okay, I called. She should be arriving any minute now.
How about Jeffrey Martinez rather, for Anthony Gosa? Give him a quick call, otherwise he's going to be in
Yes, I will call him.
a little bit of a problem. Javier, I have to tell you, you're a poor substitute for Kim Gonzalez.
That's okay, Your Honor. I'll try. I'll do something about that.
All right.
Just got off the phone with Mr. Martinez. He's gonna be logging on.
Well, we've got one defendant, 2, 3, 4 defendants is all we have. Ibanez, Jimenez, Gosa, and Pinson.
Judge, I think we're still missing
yeah.
Robert Garcia.
And who?
Robert Garcia.
Well, I looked for him. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that is Robert Garcia here with you, Ivan?
I'm present, Your Honor.
Here he is, Judge.
I couldn't find it in the Adobe, and that's because it's already been done.
Your Honor, Adam Cortez here, and I have Dennis Rivera. We're ready to do our plea.
It's 665597. Is that completed too, Linda?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Then we'll do that one too. Whenever Mr. Jeffrey Martinez decides to get here, we'll get going, and maybe Ms. Pinson will be here by then.
Ms. Pinson is on,
All right.
and there is Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Martinez.
I
Buenas tardes.
apologize, Your Honor. I was finishing a separate Zoom.
All right. So who's missing? We got Jeffrey. We got anybody missing? Oh, Ms. Pinson. Is she here yet?
Ms. Pinson is there, Judge.
I see you. All right. Very good. Daniel Ibanez, David Ibanez, pardon me. Oh, no, it's Daniel. Daniel Ibanez, wave your hands. Okay. With at this time, Kayleen, the court calls case number 619036, State versus Daniel Ibanez. 615688, State versus Roland Jimenez. 666756, State versus Anthony Gosa. 647082, 672478, and 672479. All three, the State versus Tammy Pinson. And then we have 665597, State versus Daniel Rivera. Would each of you defendants please raise your right hand?
Judge, you forgot Robert Garcia.
Oh,
And Jackson.
658243, State versus Robert Garcia. All right, there we go. All right. Do each of you solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Robert Garcia,
Yes, Your Honor.
where are you?
I'm right here.
Okay, thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Daniel Ibanez,
Here, Your Honor.
thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Roland Jimenez,
Yes, sir. Right here.
thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Anthony Gosa,
Yes, Your Honor.
thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Tammy Pinson,
Yes, sir.
thank you, ma'am. You may put your hand down. And Dennis Rivera. You're muted, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry about that.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Lady and gentlemen, plural, it is my understanding that each of you is going to enter a plea on a plea bargain deal that you've made with the state. Before we do that, we're going to discuss with you and explain to you your constitutional rights and protections that each of you individually has. And Ms. Pinson, these rights and protections apply to each case that you're involved in. First of all, each of you has the right to remain silent. That means that none of you can be required or compelled to make any kind of statement. You cannot be required to answer questions. You cannot be required or compelled to submit written documents with your signature, especially documents that admit or confess to wrongdoing. That's the right to remain silent. Each of you has the right to a jury trial. And again, I remind you, Ms. Pinson, this applies to each case we're talking about. That right to a jury trial means that you and your attorney can participate with the state and select 6 citizens from a pool of citizens that's called a jury pool or jury panel. Those 6 citizens would hear your individual case, all the evidence, if any, testimony, if any, materials, if any, and those 6 people would decide whether you're not guilty or whether you've been proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. That's called the right to a jury trial. Each of you has what's called the right of confrontation. That means if you go to trial, each of you has the right that if there is anyone who testifies, you and your attorney could question, cross-examine, or challenge any witness who testifies. That's called the right of confrontation. Each of you individually has the right to appeal. That's a right that you can exercise yourself or your attorney by himself or herself, or the 2 of you together. And what you would do essentially is you would demand that a higher court review the official record and the evidence in these proceedings for whatever legal challenge you wanted to make. I caution you that the right of appeal is a little bit difficult because it has time limitations and you have to submit the right paperwork with the correct information. It's called the right of appeal. And as Ms. Pinson, again, all of these rights apply to each individual case. Each of you and the state in your particular cases or case, each of you in the state has the right to demand that this proceeding be held in the open public courtroom. Because of the COVID pandemic, we're not doing that. However, in order to proceed, you shall have signed a consent to do this by video conference. It is being live streamed, but it is nonetheless video conference. And did each of you sign a document giving consent to do this by way of the video conference? Mr. Garcia.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Daniel Ibanez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Roland Jimenez.
Yes, I did, sir.
Anthony Gosa.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Pinson.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
In each case.
Yes, sir.
And Dennis Rivera.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, in order to do these proceedings, there's in each of your individual cases, in each of you individually, there's documents in there that have your signature. Before you signed each document, did each of you have the guidance and help of your individual attorneys? Mr. Rivera.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Pinson on all 3?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gosa.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Roland Jimenez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Daniel Ibanez.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Robert Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, among the documents that each of you has reviewed and signed with the help of your attorney, we have what's called, well, first of all, each of your documents identifies you individually by name, case number, and court number. The first document I want to remind you of is called Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. This document is very critical, and it recites in there in writing the rights and protections that I discussed with you earlier. It also, that same document, talks about the fact that whatever deal you've made is not binding on me as a judge. As a judge, I have the right, the authority, and the responsibility to decide whether I accept your deal or whether I refuse it. If I say no, it's no, there is no deal. If I say yes, then the deal is accepted. I also have the right and authority to decide what your punishment is, regardless of what you have agreed to. I do have to stay within the range of punishment for your particular offense that you plead to. If I give you a punishment that's greater than the agreement that you've made, then in that case, you'd have the right to start all over again, and nothing you've said or signed would be used against you. That document also tells you that if I reject your deal, you have the right to start all over again, and nothing you've said or done would be used against you. Did each of you read and have the help of your attorney and understand that document? It's called Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. Is there anyone that did not sign it or did not agree to it? I take it from your silence that each of you has agreed to it. There's also a document for each of you in each case that is titled Trial Court's Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. That document tells you that, yeah, you have a right of appeal, but you're making your own deal here. This is your agreement with the state. Therefore, you are giving up the right of appeal. Trial court certification, I certify that you're giving up the right of appeal. Did each of you understand that, Mr. Garcia
Yes, that is understood, Your Honor.
and Mr. Ibanez,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jimenez,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gosa,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rivera,
Yes, Your Honor.
and Ms. Pinson? Ms. Pinson, you're muted. There you go.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, most of you applied for some form of probation. Probation is a written, legal, binding agreement between you and this court. The essence of it is that my side of the agreement is that I will not send you to jail so long as you live up to the conditions of supervision, 100%. If you violate the conditions or you refuse to live up to them, then the state can ask me to have a hearing, at which time, if the evidence is sufficient in my mind, I can revoke the suspension of that jail sentence and send you to jail. One or two of you has asked for deferred adjudication. Deferred adjudication is very beneficial because in a deferred adjudication, regardless of the plea and the evidence, I will not find you guilty at this time. I will defer that or postpone it. And if you live up to all the conditions, then the offense to which you have pled will be dismissed and you're not convicted of it. If you fail or refuse to live up to the conditions and you got deferred adjudication, then the state will ask me to give you official notice, bring you in for a hearing. And if the evidence is sufficient in my mind, under the circumstances, I can revoke the deferred adjudication, find you guilty, and give you any sentence in the range of punishment for your offense. Now, Ms. Pinson,
Sir,
in case number 647-082, state what was the charge?
In this case. it's
Prostitution.
All right. To that charge, ma'am, how do you plead?
no content.
I'm pleading guilty. Pleading guilty, Tammy.
Guilty.
All right, so is it, you are pleading guilty, man?
Sir,
Or did anyone threaten you, intimidate you, or promise you anything other than the plea bargain in exchange for your plea of guilty?
no, sir.
All right. I accept your plea of guilty on 647-082. And 672-478, you were charged with evading arrest, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
To that charge, how do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
Did anyone threaten you, intimidate you, or promise you anything other than the plea bargain deal in exchange for your plea of guilty?
No, sir.
In case number 672-479, you were charged with failure to identify to a peace officer with the intent to falsify or give false information. To that charge, how do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
Did anyone threaten you, intimidate you, or promise you anything other than the plea bargain deal in exchange for that plea?
No, sir.
All right, state what is the agreement on ma'am, so I'm sorry, on the each charge, 647-082, 672-478, 672-479. I accept your plea of guilty. Based on your plea and the evidence, I find you guilty. State what is the agreement on punishment?
Your Honor, the agreement is the same in all three cases, and that is to be 60 days Bear County Jail, $500 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, all three cases to run concurrent, and we would request that this satisfy the judgment in all three cases.
Mr. Hayek, is this the agreement?
Your Honor, that's our agreement in each and every case.
And Ms. Pinson, is this your agreement?
Yes, sir.
All right. I sentence you to 60 days Bear County Jail on each case, $500 fine plus court costs. I give you credit for time served, time and money run concurrent. All three cases run concurrent with each other. The court finds that you have satisfied this judgment. On these three cases, you owe nothing further to the state or to the court. Excuse me a second. Does she have any other wants or warrants? Mr. Hayek, do you know?
She has a felony outstanding right now, Judge.
Okay, well, Ms. Benson, good luck to you. I hope things work out for you and that you are free soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Dennis
May I be
Rivera,
excused?
is Adam Cortez here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Rivera, you were charged with driving while intoxicated. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. To that charge, sir, how do you plead?
Your Honor, there's a motion.
Has a motion.
Okay, what is the motion?
The state would move to waive and abandon count 1 and proceed solely on count 2 of obstruction.
Defense, any objection?
No, of course not, Your Honor. Thank you.
And do you also waive the 10-day notice of amendment?
We do, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Rivera, your attorney has succeeded in getting you a deal where you're no longer charged with DWI. You're now charged with obstruction of a passageway, waterway, or highway. Do you understand what you're charged with now?
Yes, sir.
All right. To that charge, sir, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Did anyone threaten you, intimidate you, or promise you anything in exchange for the plea of guilty?
No, sir.
All right. Based on your plea of guilty and the evidence, I find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Am I correct in presuming he's going to get deferred state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me what the state and defense recommend by way of punishment.
The recommendation is for 12 months deferred adjudication.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
12 months deferred.
I hear you. Okay, 12 months.
$500 fine plus court costs. 48 hours community service. DWI education program. Victim impact panel. TAP evaluation. And ignition interlock for half the term.
Is he also surrendering the rights on early termination and all that stuff,
Yes, Your Honor.
which is, do you understand what that is, Mr. Cortez?
He's understood, he's terminating his early, I mean, he's, obviously, we're not going to get terminated early, but as far as certificate of non-disclosure, we didn't want to waive that, Your Honor.
State?
Judge, it's indicated on the paperwork that early or that non-disclosure would not be.
Is what?
It's on the paperwork that the defendant would waive their right to apply for non-disclosure.
Yes, Your Honor, I've been seeing that on a lot of them when we don't discuss it. Obviously, early termination, I mean, he's got to stick it out. That's got to be the case. You know, he's got to finish his 12 months and 6 months of ignition interlock, but Your Honor, giving up that benefit, I mean, I just don't see any basis for it. We'd ask if we could go open on that term.
All right. And Mr. Duretta, do you have children?
Yes, sir.
How many?
5.
Sorry?
5.
5 children.
Yes.
What are their ages, sir?
21, 10, 6, 4.
Okay, somebody you lost there. 21, 10, 6, 4 is 4 of them.
Yeah, I have identical twin girls.
Huh?
10. Identical twins, 10 years old.
Ah, my wife and I were blessed with twin daughters. They're now 41 years old. And they were identical.
Well, Your Honor, with that many kids, maybe he should get early termination.
What a hoot. All right. I approve most of the agreement. You are granted 12 months deferred adjudication. You're fined $500 plus court costs, $48 community service restitution. You will complete a DWI education program and the victim impact panel. You'll submit a TAP evaluation and recommendations will be subject to my approval. There will be no waiver of the right of non-disclosure. I will have you do the ignition interlock for 1/2 the term, which is 6 months. What do you earn? What is your income?
Take home about like 2,000 a month.
Okay, what is your gross income? What do you earn hourly or whatever?
Hourly, 18 an hour.
Okay, 18 an hour is 720 a week. It's a little over 3,000 a month, but you have 5 children to take care of.
Yeah, I have 2 different child supports.
Let me just say this to you very quickly. The worst thing that could happen in your life is for you to be drinking and driving and you kill one or all of your family. That happens. I hope you stop drinking and driving. You won't be able to drink at all for the next 12 months. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to set your supervisory fee at $29 a month, which is low, but you've got, does your wife works outside the house?
I'm not married, sir.
Are you paying child support or what are you doing?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I am.
All right. Okay. Then you will have 7 days to come in and have your thumbprint placed on the documents that's here at the offices of County Court 5. Do not leave this hearing until you visited with our CLO, that's a Community Liaison Officer. It's Corey Richardson. He'll explain to you and the probation program and how you're going to get started in it. Probation will read to you the conditions of supervision. You will sign them and you'll have a copy in your hands. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Stick around. Don't leave.
Yes, sir.
Counsel, you're free to go if you so choose, or you can wait.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll get with my client later. I appreciate it, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks.
Mr. Robert Garcia, you were charged with DWI with a blood alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
That's called extreme intoxication. State, do you have any motions?
Your Honor, which case was this again?
I'm sorry.
Which defendant?
658-243, Robert Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor, the state would move to waive and abandon the extreme intoxication enhancement and proceed on a DWI first.
No objections, Your Honor.
Very good. Mr. Garcia, you're no longer charged with extreme intoxication. Now you're charged with what might be referred to as regular intoxication or a lower level of punishment. There's no objection from your attorneys, therefore I grant that motion. To that charge of driving while intoxicated, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Plea of no contest is considered a guilty plea. Is that understood?
That is understood.
Did anyone threaten you, intimidate you, or promise you anything other than the plea agreement in exchange for the plea of no contest?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have children, sir?
No, I don't.
State, what is the recommendation on punishment?
The recommendation is 180 days probated for 12 months, $500 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service, restitution to be determined, DWI education program, victim impact panel, TAP evaluation, and ignition interlock for half the term.
Mr. Barrera, is this your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, is this your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
And how do you make a living? What do you earn?
I'm a line cook. I make $16 an hour.
1.6?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you work 40 hours or more?
It depends. But on average, 40.
All right, and that's what 640 a week.
I believe it's closer to 6.
I'm sorry?
It's closer to 600.
Well, that depends upon your mathematics, I guess.
And Judge, he's also a college student.
Are you a full-time student?
No, I'm currently only taking 2 classes.
All right. I'm going to set your supervisory fee at $34 a month. The recitation of the agreement that you all acknowledge as the agreement, I approve that as the sentence. 180 days, Bear County Jail, probate is suspended 12 months, 48 hours community service restitution, $500 fine plus court costs. You will pay whatever restitution is determined by the probation office. If you disagree with it, I'm sure that Mr. Barrera knows, or you can get a hold of him and we can set up a hearing. You'll do DWI education, the victim impact panel. You'll submit a TAP evaluation. Recommendations will be subject to my approval. You'll have ignition interlock installed for a continuous 6 months. Any questions, Mr. Garcia?
No, sir.
Mr. Barrera?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Don't forget, you have to come in and give us your thumbprint, Mr. Garcia. And you can not leave until you've had a meeting with Mr. Corey Richardson. Is that understood?
That is understood, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Stay out of trouble. Finish your school.
Thank you.
Daniel Ibanez, you were charged with DWI with a blood alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. State, you have any motions?
No motions, Judge.
All right. To the charge of DWI with blood alcohol content 0.15 or higher, also known as extreme intoxication, how do you plead, sir?
I don't believe that was what we had talked about.
No, Daniel, he's just asking if you plead guilty or no contest.
Oh, okay. No contest.
All right. A no contest plea is considered a guilty plea and it's sufficient for me to convict you. Is that understood?
Yes.
Do you have any children that you support?
No.
All right. And what are your earnings? What do you earn on a regular basis?
I make $17 an hour. So
Okay.
I take home about 13, 14 every 2 weeks.
You work 40 hours a week?
Yeah.
That's 680 a week. That's 2944 a month, right at 3,000. All right. State, what is the recommendation?
The recommendation in this case is 30 days Bear County Jail, $500 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. And there's been an agreement that this time is to be served under house arrest with allowance for work release.
So it's a partial house arrest.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ibanez, is this your agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Barrera, is this your agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, I accept the agreement as recited into the record. You're sentenced to 30 days, Bear County Jail, a $500 fine plus court cost, credit for time served, time and money run concurrent. You will be under partial house arrest, the exception being while you are in, you're allowed to go to work and back only. Is that understood, sir?
Yes, sir. I do walk to work. I don't know if that matters.
You do what?
I walk to my job, so I don't know if that matters.
Well, no, that's acceptable, but you can only walk to and from work and you can't wander off and go different places. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Don't leave until you've had, when do you want him to surrender, Mr. Barrera?
Judge, I guess it's up to Mr. Ibanez. I don't know if he wants to. Well, Judge, he might. Is he gonna have to have like an ankle monitor during that time?
You'll have to have a GPS, yes, sir.
GPS, okay, so that might take a while for all that to get processed. So I want to say maybe by Monday.
Let's see, 28, 29, 30, that's the 31st, right?
That's correct, Judge.
Mr. Ibanez, you're to surrender at the jail so they can put the GPS on you no later than 4 p.m. on Monday, the 31st of January, 22. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. 615-688, you know, you have to go and come to the offices here within 1 week and get your thumbprint on the documents. 615-688, Roland Jimenez. You were charged with driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. To that charge, sir, how do you plead? Well, state, pardon me, you have a motion.
Yes, Your Honor. The state would move to amend the information, adding count 2 of obstruction, and then would further move to waive and abandon count 1 and proceed solely on count 2.
Defense, any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
There being no objection, the motion is granted. Do you waive the 10-day notice of amendment?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so noted. To the charge of DWI, pardon me, of obstruction of a highway, waterway, or passageway, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Did anyone threaten you, intimidate you, or promise you anything other than the plea bargain in exchange for your plea of guilty?
No, sir.
I accept your plea of guilty. I find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, but I do not. State, what is the recommendation?
The recommendation is 180 days probated for 14 months, $800 fine fully probated, 48 hours community service, DWI education program, victim impact panel, TAP evaluation, ignition interlock for 7 months, forfeiture of the weapon in the UCW case, and we would also TIC 615-689, which is the UCW case.
That's a UCW, you said?
Yes, Your Honor.
615-689. All right. Mr. Garcia, is this the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, as well as my understanding is that our client can buy out the community service hours with permission from the court.
That is correct. My recommendation is that he would donate at the rate of $11 per hour. For any and all hours that he wishes to donate in lieu of the work. I prefer that he donate to the Gabriel Project. Probation can help you with that. However, he can decide or opt for the San Antonio Food Bank if he prefers.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I approve the agreement. But before I do that, what is your income, sir?
$1,400 a week. I make about $5,600 a month.
State you're fully probating the fine?
Your Honor, that was the agreement made with defense. I don't recall the reason they gave me for wanting it fully probated, though.
I'm not going to accept that. In fact, I'll approve the 180 days probated for 14 months. I'll accept that. I don't think that the fine is appropriate, especially not if it's probated. There'll be 48 hours of community service restitution, a TAP evaluation, recommendations subject to my approval, the DWI education program, the victim impact panel, ignition interlock on your vehicle for 7 months. As I said, I authorized the donation in lieu of work. What kind of weapon did you have?
I don't recall, but I can't remember. It's been like 2-3 years.
Your Honor, it was a Glock 40 cal.
Really? All right. And this is being forfeited to whom, state?
The DA's office, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Garcia, anything on that?
You know, I didn't talk to Mr. Locke on that matter. I thought it was going to be destroyed, but as far as it going to the state, I thought it was going to be subject to destruction. But if
This is not necessarily going to be destroyed, it's forfeited to the DA's office. They'll have use of it if they choose, and probably will. All right, that's the agreement. That's what I'll order. However, the fine with the income the gentleman has, and I think, did you said you have 0 children or not?
I have 2 children. I have a 6-year-old and I have a 1-year-old.
All right, the fine is going to be $1,000, not probated. Now, that is an increase above what you agreed to. And you have
Yes,
the
sir.
right to disagree and start all over. That's your call. But with your income, you're doing better than the agreement on the fine.
That's fine.
All right. You will have to come in within a week, 7 days, and have your thumbprint placed on the documents. Plus, don't leave here. Mr. Richardson will meet with you and get you started on the probation program.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you. Stay out of trouble. Be careful with drinking and driving.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. 666-756, Anthony Gosa. Mr. Gosa, you were charged with a DWI second. State, do you have any motions?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would move to waive and abandon the second enhancement and proceed on a DWI first.
And defense has no objection, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection from defense. The motion is granted. Mr. Gosa, you're no longer charged with DWI second. Now, understand one thing. I grant that motion. If you get arrested for a third one, that's going to be a felony, Mr. Gosa. It's not going to be another DWI second. It'll be a felony. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. To the charge of DWI first or misdemeanor B, how do you plead, sir?
No contest, Your Honor.
A no contest plea is considered a guilty plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it's sufficient for me to convict you. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Based on your plea and the evidence, I find you guilty. State what is the, recite into the record what you understand to be the recommendation.
The recommendation is 180 days probated for 16 months. Fine of $500 plus court costs. 60 hours of community service. DWI intervention program. Victim impact panel live. TAP evaluation. Ignition interlock for half the term. And attend AA meetings at least 3 times a week.
Mr. Martinez, is this your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor. We have a few things. Mr. Ghost is currently on the portable device. We've submitted an affidavit previously to have that approved by the court. He's going to be asking to stay on that portable device. If he does obtain his driver's license back, he will let his probation officer know and get that switch back to the ignition interlock. He would like the option to be able to purchase his community service. Right now, he's a stay-at-home father, and that's his priority due to COVID. And since he's unemployed and his primary employment right now is the care of his child, we'd ask for the statutory minimum on his probation fees for the month, for the probation term.
Mr. Gosa, how long have you been unemployed?
Since January of 2021, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have children? I don't know if I asked you.
No, Your Honor, but I do have three children, two boys, 10 and 12, and a 10-month-old daughter.
Hi, well, did you understand my question? I asked if you have children. You're saying
Yes, I do.
no, but you have three.
Yes, Your Honor, I do have three children.
Okay. And they're all minors?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you live with the mother of the children?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And does she work outside the house?
Yes, Your Honor.
What does she do?
She's an intake coordinator for home health and hospice company.
And what does she earn, sir?
She earns, believe it is, 4,000 a month, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. You will have 7 days to come in and have your thumbprint placed on the documents. You will meet with Mr. Corey Richardson before you leave this proceeding. You are sentenced to 180 days Bexar County Jail, probated and suspended for 16 months. You are fined $500 plus court costs. You will perform 60 hours of community service restitution. You will not apply for early termination or for non-disclosure or expunction. You'll do the DWI intervention program, the victim impact panel live. For 8 months, you're supposed to do the ignition interlock. Now, tell me about what happened to the car that you used to drive.
It was totaled, Your Honor.
And I take it your wife drives a car?
Yes, Your Honor, but she does not allow me to to even touch it.
You know, the law allows me to put an interlock on there because you have access to that car. I want a written affidavit from her that she will not allow you to drive. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that already in the file, Mr. Martinez?
His personal affidavit is in the file, Your Honor, that he will not drive. I can give him one for his
I
wife.
want an affidavit from his wife that she will not allow him to use her car.
Yes, Your Honor.
Understood?
Yes,
In
Your Honor.
lieu of the ignition interlock, and only if you get an affidavit from the wife, I will allow him to have the portable alcohol monitor. He's to blow into it at least 4 times a day. He will meet or participate with Alcoholics Anonymous at least 3 times a week. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, there was just 2 things, if I may.
I'm sorry?
Just 2 things, if I may. We were going to ask if he could also have the option to purchase some of those community service hours and for the statutory minimum on the probation fees per month.
I'm not going to agree with that. We're going to make his supervisor fee $34 a month. Now, what was the other one, the other request?
Just that he has the option to buy the community service, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. See, I don't comprehend how you can ask for payment buyout and then ask for a minimum supervisory fee. That's why I'm not doing the 25 a month instead.
The life of the court appointed attorney, Your Honor. It's very fun.
I understand. All right. Mr. Gosa, you are a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay, that was not in your paperwork that you filled out. Okay. I think that takes care of this. You got 7 days to have your thumbprint placed on the documents. Meet before you leave, meet with Mr. Corey Richardson. He's there on the screen.
Judge, what is gonna be the donation?
The donation will be at $9 an hour. My preference is to the Project Gabriel, or the Gabriel Project is the way it reads, or
Yes, Your Honor.
San Antonio Food Bank. My preference is Gabriel. All right, anything else? I think that takes care of our pleas for this afternoon. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your courtesies and your professionalism.
Judge, I have Miss Jackson and I returned 1:30. If you want me to talk to Ashley for an offer and then to Miss Jackson, perhaps we can come back if Miss Jackson decides she wants to plead out. She's on the upper right. She returned at 1:30.
And who's that on?
Sabe Jackson on page 7. If you want us to get a reset, just come back after we discuss a possible plea. We can do that, Judge. It's been a long day. Sabe Jackson, Sabeay Jackson.
Let's recall that. What is convenient for you? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 30 days?
Miss Jackson, when do you want to come back? 2 weeks?
That's fine.
Okay. I can join you in the breakout room before we leave.
Okay.
Maybe I can talk just for 30 seconds or whatever. May we be excused, Judge, to the breakout room?
Yes, it is. Ms. Flores, would you accommodate them, put them in breakout?
Yes, breakout room 2. And Joelle, the reset is gonna be February 10th.
Did you get that, Miss Jackson? February
Yeah.
10th? Okay, join me in the breakout room. We'll keep talking just for a little bit longer.
How do I do that? Just
You
wait
hit
for
that
it.
join. You hit that join. I think Linda Flores is gonna send you the join.
Okay.
I
You click
did
on the
already.
join. Okay, I'm gonna leave right now. Thank you, Judge. Have a great day. Thank
Miss
you.
too.
You
Take
should have
care.
already gotten it. Oh.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Linda,
Yes.
let's go over the docket. 663-269. That was Mr. Chidas. We reset that for 60 days, right? I don't think it was on the regular docket.
Oh, I think that one was 663. That was from yesterday's. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Then we have 565-377, the very first one.
Yes, I got a call from David Wheeler. I told him since we're not doing in person, it's gotten reset to March 17th at 1:30.
Reset.
Mhm.
All righty.
Your Honor, I
And-
was sent to a different room, but for somehow I got disconnected and then I logged back in and it brought me back over here. Do I
Okay,
just wait or?
give me a minute. Breakout room 1. Hold on. Where are you? Sorry. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, Judge.
All right. Let's see, 606-768. That is Sean Brown.
Reset 2 weeks.
Okay. 611-844. Sebastian Vigil. I don't think.
Oh,
he
no,
has-
that one, we're sending that one to jail court.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of the page, 630810.
Resetting,
Huh?
Fabian Leyva,
Right,
resetting 30 days.
reset 30. That takes care of page 1. Wow. Page 2. There it is. 633404.
Reset, felony pending.
Okay. The next one, 633